Morning. The last couple of days I've talked about God blessing us, pouring His abundance upon us, living in the kingdom, and what God wants to do with us and how He wants us to live, as far as being blessed and not feeling guilty over Him blessing us. But then also having the responsibility to do stuff with it, to be able to pour back into those that are around us, in the communities, our towns, villages, nations, other countries, whatever the case might be, whatever God's put on your heart. But there's also another part of this that I wanted to touch on. In all this, it requires wisdom from God. I'm believing God's going to pour out blessings on you. And I'm believing that His kingdom will come because of the goodness of God. Your neighbors will see it. Your friends will see it. They'll experience it because you'll be able to pour back into them. But then also there's wisdom. And so this is a challenge on your part, on my part. I've asked God to bless us, to bless me, for instance. I've asked God to bless me, and I've prayed about that. But I've also asked Him for wisdom in knowing what to do. In Proverbs chapter 2, verse 6, it says, "The Lord gives wisdom; from His mouth comes knowledge and understanding." So I've asked the Lord for knowledge and understanding in the responsibility that I have to do with what He wants me to do to bring His kingdom come and His will to be done. Also in Proverbs in chapter 9, verse 1, is wisdom has built herself a house. She has set up 7 pillars. You know what? There's something to wisdom. That wisdom sets things up. And there's a lot of, for instance, on that verse, there's a lot of study about what those pillars might be in society. And but what the gist is, wisdom has built. Wisdom has built. So wisdom will build. So God's going to give you wisdom for knowledge and discernment and how to build what you're going to do for the kingdom. And that is letting God build, not you. Because God, when you put your labor and your ministry or whatever it is into His hands, He builds it with you. He gives you an acorn, and pretty soon you end up with an oak tree. It's not a lottery. It's a transformation. It's brilliant. Maybe you'll win the lottery. He'll give you wisdom for that. But it's wisdom and know how to handle the resources. And that's the kingdom. That's exactly what the parables were that Jesus talked about, where a king goes away and gives his servants, different sums of money. He's making them ready. So here's the thing, in 2 Chronicles chapter 30, verse 27, something interesting happened. The priests and Levites, these are the holy men for the nation of Israel. The priests and Levites stood to bless the people, and God heard them. And their prayer reached heaven, His holy dwelling place. That's cool. Pray God blesses you today, that He causes His face to shine upon you, and that He blesses the work of your hands. God will hear you. God has heard my prayer. So as you listen to this and think about it, get ready. It's coming. Thank God. And the desires He's put in your heart for transformation for your family, your town, your neighborhood, your country, a people, that you start building wonderful things, and that God has given you wisdom to do that. God bless you.